right. I'm yelling again. It's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'm going to have to keep saying that until they get rid of Daylight Savings Time, which I'm rooting for. I don't know what's going to happen in this administration, but I'm rooting for if I just come out without Daylight Savings Time, I think we've won. Welcome, adventures. I'm your guide, Sean McZoo, and this is the Reptile Show Reporter. As usual, Bill Strand, the headmaster of the Chameleon Academy, is my co-host and Scatmaster for the day or the year or whatever. Tonight,
you know what? New people aren't gonna know that that's supposed to be a compliment. They're gonna say, "What the heck?"
Well, you got to go with what you got, and people have to look back and let's hope they did their homework before they got on here. And tonight we are going to try a topic that I don't think Bill can get to derail me on. We're going to talk about whatever's on Bill's mind at the time. So,
hey, that's not fair.
That's good. All right, now for the music. All right, we're back. Let's see who's here. All right, Nate is here. Mikey, Ben, Marcia, Two Turtle Tom is back. Renee, Stephanie Payne. All right, I got to go through all these. Bill, let's see, you can help me out here, Nate. There's Nate. And Mikey Ben. I don't have him in the Canadians, but at some point I'm going to put that back up. Connection. That's him with the pectinatus. And who's next?
Marcia Ann. Two Turtle Tom.
And of course we've got Tom with his daughter Paige. She's gotten a little older since this picture, but that's the best way that goes. And
all right, and new picture, Renee.
Yeah, she's kind of near the end here because she's the newest picture. I haven't sorted them out. All right. And then we're going to do a bonus Renee and Marcia. There we go.
Hey, that's extra.
We just, sometimes I feel kind and I'm trying to keep you off topic. All right. Who else, Bill? Anybody else?
Stephanie Payne.
Wow. Woo! Yeah, let's see. That's the wrong way. All right, Stephanie. There we go. That's Stephanie. Okay.
Hey, we knew that.
All right. Anybody else here?
Yeah. Who the heck is Travis Bazana? Yeah. You got a picture of Travis?
I don't even have. Oh, I'm behind on my comments. Apparently, I'm. I don't know. I have Geraldine.
Sean.
Hi, everyone.
Know. Two Turtle Tom says, I missed last week as I was scouting Travis Bazana.
Who is Travis Bazana and what the heck is it?
Sean, you're in charge. You should know this stuff.
I'm not in charge of the world. I'm just in charge of this show.
Hey, Geraldine's here.
Who? What?
Geraldine. You have a picture of Geraldine?
I don't think I have a picture of Geraldine.
We need a picture of you.
Has Geraldine been here a bunch of times?
She's been around. She's been around.
Well, I know her.
She's going to Madagascar.
Well, we'll have to get a picture of her whether she likes it or not.
Yeah, well, if you don't get one by next January, I'll get you one.
Wait a minute. Alicia.
Well, Alicia's here too.
Is this Alicia? Like Alicia from the Chameleon Enthusiast? Or
no, this is else? Alicia who, or I think it's Hampton. Oh, I don't know last name. Who had the egg that just molded over. And now she's soul searching as to when she's going to jump into a chameleon, but she's going to go with the breeder. And so we've been following this drama for months.
I don't want to give false hope, Bill, but I had a couple eggs that molded over that hatched.
All right. Now so does anybody here believe Sean? I don't believe Sean. Okay.
They probably molded from the other ones or were next to that, but they didn't mold completely over. They had a little mold on them and they hatched. So
Yeah, I did. Once I was able to, I just put a little athlete's foot on it, powder on it, and it actually
you put a little athlete's foot on it.
Yeah.
You're not even an athlete, Bill. What are we talking about?
Hey, I used to kind of athlete around.
Yes.
Didn't toss the egg yet. She's holding on. That's cool.
Well, when it molds and then it crinkles down and it gets rock solid and you know it's really dead.
Rock solid and black and Sean never gives up.
Well, I know I have tortoise eggs that are over a year old. They haven't molded over. They haven't stunk. They're in incubation for over a year. I don't know what to do. Tom told me not to do anything till they exploded.
Well, so, if they haven't molded over, then they're good.
Well, I don't know. It seems odd that they'd be going a year. Although I did have a power outage for a couple days in the middle of incubation, but I still think it's been long enough to incubate again. So, anyways, facts Atkington acting. Okay.
Where's James? He should be awake.
I think he crashed. He said he wasn't maybe not going to be able to make it because he was over caffeinated and he was going to crash. But
yeah, well, let me tell you, I got home and I crashed. So I have no idea how well I will be able to sleep tonight. But boy, did I crash when I got home. So, and for those who are wondering what's going on, Mr. James Cross had to come down to my area. And so has not experienced all the wonders that coffee can bring. He only has gas station coffee for years and years and years. And so I took him on a coffee crawl.
That's real coffee, though, Bill. Gas station coffee is real coffee.
It may be, but I exposed him to espresso drink, Turkish coffee, and then another espresso drink. We actually had a cold brew in there that we had to just agree. Yeah, we're not able to do this. It's going to be too much. We are only human. Only human. All right. So,
wait a minute. Nate's dropping off. Gonna do a dry run on lizard care. Okay, I guess that's reasonable.
Oh my goodness! My character is being besmirched.
Besmirched. Remember, whatever Bill wants to talk about, that's a topic for the night. So let's talk about besmirching Bill.
What the heck?
How can we besmirch him?
Yeah.
That's an old-fashioned big word.
Well, if you want to, if you're going to hand it over to me, I mean, I'll just start talking.
Let's talk about announcements, Bill. Let's start there. Any announcements?
Well, sure. Let's first get an update on Squishy.
All right. Let's see. Do we have an update on Squishy? Survey says
yes. There's the Squishmeister. Look at that. And
we don't have the people that might want to know about Squishy here tonight.
Well, we're going to keep Squishy in on the shelf, and if the Squishy fan club comes a calling, then we'll bring Squishy back up.
I guess we're starting a bigger fan club for Squishy. All right.
Squishy's fan club is growing and growing. I now have a respectable number of people who are looking forward to getting Squishy's autograph on the new book. And it's like, okay, Bill, you can sign it and Squishy.
Squishy's a lot better looking than us, Bill, so I'm going to leave Squishy up. Mikey Ben's here. Was he here? No, he was here. Yeah.
We already did Mikey Ben. So
and not without the Canadians, but yeah. All right.
So I am 3 days late sending my book to the publisher because I had some last minute changes I wanted to do. I'll finish those up tomorrow, and then Friday, I guess, I'll send it off to the publisher. Wow. So a little bit late, but I'm happy with the things that I am changing. There's still a passage right now that a page right now that I'm really struggling over. And
here's a good idea, Bill.
Oh my goodness. Really? Do you think I need another YouTube channel to manage?
All squishy all the time.
Not only a YouTube channel, but dealing with this chameleon diva who's got it in his head that he's a star.
Well,
I will not eat unless it is silkworms.
I'm sure that a YouTube channel called Squishy is probably already present. So,
hey, Stephanie, she says I never saw them lock, but I don't have a webcam in there. They were there together for 3 days and 2 nights, though. So hopefully they made it happen. Stephanie, the wonderful thing about panther chameleon females is they let you know when they start getting into that very orange black, and they start thinking they do not like the male
fairly obvious, and they don't like the males at that point. I've seen that too. So that is very obvious.
You will be able, even if you like, she may still be.
Wait a minute, Bill! Big announcement!
Oh my goodness!
Liza Ann is here. She showed up. She didn't put herself in the chat, but she's here for Squishy Cam.
All right.
There you go.
All right. This was taken right before the show. In fact, while the credits were going, I was taking pictures and loading it up, and Sean was saying, Bill, pay attention. And I say, this is my way of paying attention. Let's see. There she is.
There we go. Back to Squishy.
Back to Squishy.
All right.
Stephanie said she was so sweet. She loved being in there with him. He was acting confused, though all he wanted to do was eat silkworms. Well, yeah, you can separate them for a day and then put them back together and see what happens. If she's this so sweet, they didn't mate. If she just gets, oh my gosh, yeah, why all that caffeine, and here I am yawning. And if she looks at him and just flares up with black and orange, then you know it took. Either that, or she decided it took, and you'll get a infertile clutch, which is a real bummer. In fact, I literally have 3 shamrocks that are one that's already laid a clutch of infertile eggs, another 2 that are looking one has dug a test hole, but I don't think she's mated. The other one is getting ready. It's starting to get antsy. It's like, my goodness, I got the females to lay eggs consistently year after year. I just got to find out how to get them to mate with the males. So, I mean, I got some head bobbing with the males. So now I'm going to work it out. I'll write a book. I'll do videos, whatever. When I figure it out.
Some kind of special music or mood lighting, Bill?
Peter says, give them snails.
Give them.
Well, I'm going to give them snails. I'll do anything at this point. I will dance in the moonlight in a loincloth. You just tell me what it takes.
Whoa, slow down.
All right, maybe not live.
That one.
Maybe not live.
That's wow. I can't get that picture out of my head. Holy Moses. Wow. Ooh,
we just, you know what? You better come up with a topic, Sean, or we're just going to spiral down.
Wow. Liza's saying snails work for her for what? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if it prevents a moonlit dance, I'll do it. So I found some really nice sized snails, but just 2 of them. Like one a night, and a couple nights later I found another one. So I'm going to have to try to breed them, unless somehow, I mean, I'm trying different ways of looking for snails. Of course, I've just started my snail hunting career, so we'll see what happens. But it may be a while. I'll breed them, and let's see if I can breed them or find a whole lot more. So, say too much caffeine. Some would say just enough. Let's see, sugar and caffeine or no sugar. Renee, sugar, definitely. Sugar and caffeine go together like D3 and A.
No. One's a natural phenomenon that causes you to be well. The other is something that we've decided is okay, but isn't. But okay.
Agree to disagree. All right, let's see.
Well, let me see your medical diploma there, Bill. All right.
Oh, yeah, sure. Pull out the paper. You know what? I live it.
Yep.
I've been researching on YouTube, I'll have you know.
Dr. YouTube.
Renee says, I can't figure out how to tell if my girls have laid. They're so tiny. Renee's talking about Caluma lenotum, which are real little things. And yeah, that'll be fun finding those. And a lot of people end up finding babies, like my Brachysia superciliaris. I found babies, not the eggs. I breed ram's horn snails in a fish tank. Ooh, maybe.
So if you're with Dr. YouTube, you need to go to Dr. YouTube's ER when you get messed up.
He
Because
read
the
it
ER is
on
not
the
gonna love you.
internet. Yeah, see, the crowd is with me.
All right, I could just silence you today, but that would
You could try. You will never silence me. I'll make a Facebook.
Oh, good Lord. Wait a minute. I need to do that. Holy mackerel. I'm sorry, folks. I'll bring him back. Maybe he'll behave.
Oh, they did
Wow.
not. Let's see. Snails are tricky because they're challenging to ship across state lines. Two-tone Tom, yeah, I saw, but I got a lot of people in California.
Bill, this is a family show, my friend.
Well, you know what? I'm good for the whole fam.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in California that will send me snails, but they send big snails. I want the small ones, and I found those in my backyard. Apparently, they are introduced, but they're now naturalized here, and so I really like those little. I don't even know, glass snails or something like that. I am just now figuring out my snails.
Holy mackerel. Liza Ann must have been out drinking today. Because she's saying this. That's why she was late. She had too many drinks.
Bill, his shamrocks are giving him troubles, and he has to look into midnight dance. Yeah, Sean, come on.
As long as you're fully clothed, Bill, for the neighbors, that's a good thing. So
I'm feeling oppressed.
But oh wow,
Dr. YouTube.
Wow.
Any slugs? I got lots of slugs, but chameleons don't like slugs.
Barry White, I don't know. That's old music. I know it still works, but sometimes I don't know.
Stephanie says, I know for a Knowles, say some sort of calcium in the shell helps the baby making. In this case, the hypothesis is copper. We can ask Peter on Saturday night. So yes, for those, here's another announcement. We're going to be touring Peter's Vietnam facility Saturday night at 10 p.m. Pacific.
Not physically there. You're going to be virtually touring it, right?
Yeah. It'll be.
You're not going to Vietnam.
I'm not going to Vietnam
for the night and just dropping by Peter's facility.
Yeah. It'll be a live session, but we can ask questions.
So Tom is asking.
Cams will eat snails, but not slugs. Interesting. That is correct, Two Turtle Tom.
Why is that, Bill? Do we know?
They love snails.
I mean, slugs are essentially snails without a shell. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. You don't talk to me. They don't tell me what's up. So slugs are so slimy, and when eaten, they get slimier. Yeah, Alicia would know.
All right.
Stephanie Payne says, the crunch. Yes. The crunch would be fun.
The crunch. Wow. This show is,
I
should have had a better topic, Bill.
I wonder about, the shell is the calcium. I mean,
we're actually on topic, but
Chochos or slug. All I know is they don't eat slugs. They love snails, especially Jackson's chameleons, I know. And so, no, Peter noted that his Kaluma would disappear and go down to the bottom of the cage in the afternoon, and he tried to figure out what was going on. I forget what time it is. It was that he noticed this and looked like they were snail hunting. So, yeah, as I said, at this point, I will try anything.
Here's a good supposition.
I don't know.
That makes sense to me. There you go. And if it makes sense to me, it's truth, Bill, as far as I'm concerned.
Let's see. Alicia said, "Lo, I used to feed them to turtles when I was younger. Promise, never ate them." Well, people, I did not eat slugs, but I ate snails when I was a kid.
Really?
I would
And
sneak
paste
under.
and some other things, Bill, I'm sure.
I was big on snails and cat food, the dried Friskies cat food. That's
Cat
what
food
I
is
did.
actually high quality cat food because dogs will eat anything, but cats are really picky. So
Yeah, well,
that's
it
what I've learned
was
along the way.
crunchy, very salty and crunchy.
Yes, even dogs like cat food because it's a treat for them. But
Now, that was the cat food. Now, as for the snails, they were crunchy too. I don't remember how they tasted or why I went for snails, but maybe I was missing something out of my diet. Who knows?
yeah, maybe they do have shown that kids will eat what they might be missing. Like
Slime.
if you give them if you give them like carrots and they're missing certain carotenoids or whatever, they might eat carrots. And instead of if you put something more palatable or better tasting in there, but yeah, I'm not saying this right, but yes, they eat what they might need. So
Well, I was a pretty clever kid. I wanted to train myself to eat green strawberries. I wanted to train myself to like green strawberries because I figured out if I liked white strawberries, they start off white. I figured that if I made myself like the white strawberries, then I'd get to them before everybody else. I was a thinking kid.
There's actually pineapple strawberries now, Bill, that are white. But I don't think that's what you're talking about.
That's not what I was talking about. Mm-hmm. I was talking about strategy.
Unripened strawberries.
I was talking.
You couldn't wait.
Well, if you wait, then not only do the crows get them, but everyone else gets them too. Okay. If I get them while they're white, then I get them before everybody else. Early bird type thing. I was a clever kid. I had a plan. I had a plan to break out of preschool.
Eliza Ann is talking about pike dirt eating now. So,
all right. Anybody want to hear my plan to break out of preschool?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me tell you. So I was in preschool and we had this chain link fence in the back and it was all.
But you're going to stay on topic and that's a good thing, Bill.
And I figured that if I could dig under the fence, that I could escape. And but there's a problem, Sean. What's the problem? When the teachers see you digging a hole, they're going to stop you, right? Right?
Sort of.
The man comes down and stops you from escaping, or else they wouldn't put up a fence. So after I got through with it, there was. And so I decided in all of my wisdom as a preschooler that I was going to just take a handful of dirt every day. And that way they become habituated to the new level and not realize that it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, you're thinking human hands are really not meant for digging. It's kind of tedious. Dirt gets under your fingernails, and that is a clue for adults to know what you're up to. So I had to figure out how to dig without giving it away. A shovel? Give it away. Dirty fingernails? Give it away. So I went and I got my plastic dinosaur. I love dinosaurs, so I got my Ornitholestes. That is a dinosaur that I know digs to make their nests. And so I brought my plastic Ornitholestes with me. And we would go out at recess and I would make sure that the teachers didn't know what I was doing. I would just sit there against the fence, no trouble whatsoever, until they just looked away. And then I took my Ornitholestes and I started digging a hole, digging enough of the dirt that I could put a handful into my pocket. And then into nap time. And you know what? Okay, what are you going to do with a handful of dirt? Oh, well, I figured that out too. On the way to the nap, I slowly let it come out so there was no clumps of dirt all over, which a teacher would say, wait a minute, what's going on? Somebody is trying to escape. No, I'm going to spread it so there's no evidence of what I am doing.
So Bill is a preschool escapee. That's what we're hearing now.
Well, okay.
Unfortunately, he's an unescaped preschool escapee.
I did not, as a preschooler, I did not realize that the school year would come to an end long before that hole was big enough for me to escape through. So I am sorry to say I never got to use the hole because I was taken out of that prison and put into the prison of kindergarten, which was a different location.
Here's some truth, Bill.
Your brain works like mine. I did something similar, only it was around cutting everyone's hair in my class. I was successful and they closed the school for the day. Yeah. Wow. Oh, boy.
The sad things we learn about on this show, Bill. Good Lord.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I'll tell you how I got my first chameleon.
And there's Squishy again. The Squishy Cam.
So Eliza Ann says Pika is the uncontrollable urge to eat, to ingest items that's not food.
Yes.
Well, I didn't have that because
but in most people it takes a form of dirt. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, but snails are food. That's the French. Yeah.
And there's Squishy.
Alicia says, "Can I join this channel too?" You're here. Oh, this is although. All right, so everybody, I'm going to tell you my story as to how I got my first chameleon.
This is one of our crazier shows, Bill. I thought this would be kind of unique, but not this unique.
You chose the day that I had 2 espresso drinks and a
Turkish
coffee.
That's why I chose this day, because I knew you'd be incorrigible and I couldn't stay on topic. So I decided
I will
topic and go to this.
I will be yawning and I will be buzzed. So it's just all over the place. But let me tell you, okay, so it's time for me to tell you how I got my first chameleon. Once again, genius strategy. So I was collecting all of my reptiles, and you know what? The red-tailed boa, iguana, geckos, anoles, garter snake. Also, I loved them, but they just didn't have it until I met the chameleon. And then the chameleon was I knew, fell in love instantly. Chameleons were going to be my life. This is it. I have come home. Well, unfortunately, my parents were about sick of the constant reptiles coming into the house and then being sold. And they just had enough. And they said, no more. And so I came up with the idea. They said, no more. They had, this was not we'll negotiate later. They had it. So I said, okay, I need to come at it from a different aspect. And so I did a political campaign at school. We had a student government so that we all voted to have a class pet. What is he doing?
Oh, I passed out of sleep. Oh, wow.
Oh, do you know what? The audience
I've
is
heard
with
this
me.
story 500 times if I've heard it once.
This isn't for you.
I could tell this story.
This is for my people.
And then you took it home because the end of the school year, you planned this whole thing out. We know.
John, it's for the people. Okay, people in the audience, do you want to hear my story? Do you want to hear the rest of my story? You just let me know. Are we going to be hanging out with boring Sean, or are we going to be hearing my story?
I think Eliza Ann is a shill, Bill. I think this is your account that's saying it's Eliza Ann.
Oh, the mob demands the story. Renee says, please continue, Bill. Sean, you're just going to have to sit and hear this story for the 50th time.
50? 350 if it's one.
Yeah, well, then learn to enjoy it. This is
Cam.
Everybody enjoys stories that they've heard before because they're familiar. So enjoy your familiar. Yes, Eliza Ann says we are waiting. Okay, Sean, I'm sorry. I've had enough dealing with you. I need my fans demand the rest of the story. So I convinced all of the class to vote on a class pet, and so everybody brought $1. I literally I went to every single person and convinced them we needed this pet because I knew they would get tired of it, and I would be the one taking care of it because they were tired of it. And then when summer came, it had to go home with somebody. And so fast forward to the first day of summer, and my parents are saying, how is it that we have a chameleon in our living room? We said no chameleons, yet here one is. And that is how I did my first political campaign and got my first chameleon. Same kind of brain power that went into figuring out how to escape preschool.
So Nate was gone.
Oh, okay. So Nate, you need to hear both stories.
Oh my goodness, no. No. I was in the background just listening. I was trying to not snore on camera, so there you go.
Wow. All right, everybody. Just a number between 1 and 188, and I will read from that page. That's right. Just let me know. Just let me
17, Bill. 17.
No, it's got to be the people if they want to hear it. I mean, they may say, okay, we don't need to hear a 79. It is. Okay, I've got a number. 79.
Hey,
this
Bill,
is on.
So reporter wants 17.
Well, okay, but 79's first. This is on drainage. Perhaps the most overlooked aspect of setting up cages is drainage. All the water coming into your cage needs to go somewhere, and most of it will end up at the bottom of the cage. Your goal is for it to flow through the cage and be stored under the cage. And I won't read any more because I don't want to ruin the story. So Eliza Ann says 152, and because Eliza Ann is on my side, she gets it. She gets 152. Species notes.
This.
So this is 152. You get Clancy's father, and then there's Clancy. Yay! Oh boy!
You can still read it, Bill.
Is Sean is
back.
Is pouting. So,
I'm not pouting. I'm just disappearing.
Pouting
from time to time to show my.
Well, 17 is what could go wrong. This talks about things that can go wrong with an egg hatching.
There you go. I was just talking about it. You know.
What do I do if the baby chameleon won't come out of the egg? And that talks about how you're gonna deal with the situation where do you help this baby? I generally don't. Some people do. I don't. But I discuss some of the things you got to think about.
Wait a minute, Bill. We've been insulted duly.
Are you guys brothers? Oh.
We've actually never even met in person.
We've never met in person.
So we don't know.
I often accuse him of being AI. But AI wouldn't be such a stick in the mud.
I'm not AI. I've met many people that you've also met, and I've met a pile of people here on in the chat. Two Turtle Tom, tell him that you've met me. We've met many times.
He's told me
I've
that.
met with let's see,
Nate. Told me that he was
sure I've met with Nate. Nate knows I'm not AI because he got a chameleon from me.
Mikey Ben, page 32 is
all
about
there we go.
Open air cages.
Sean is real. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Whatever.
Maybe Bill's AI.
A real pain in my butt.
I've never met him in person, and James Cross may be shilling for him.
That's right. Pacific versus Midwest. I see where this is going.
There you go. The Midwest rocks.
I am AI gone awry. Ooh, that's right.
Because she's AI as well. She's your alter ego. We don't need to know. She's a shill of a of an account. You just running this account in the background.
This is for Renee. Page 22, selecting your chameleon's cage. For every chapter, you get this big chapter marking. It's an excuse to show an awesome picture.
Wait a minute. Negative Ghost Rider. That's a Top Gun, right? Isn't that's a Top Gun reference? So she's not AI. I don't know. But she's happy for Nate, and I'm happy for him too. And I'll have one less tortoise to take care of. So there's just too many here. So there we go. All right.
Yeah, I see. We're creating tribes here.
Nah, they're all one tribe. We're just kind of separating them, a little bit, and then we're gonna bring them all back together in the end.
Oh, Two Turtle Tom thinks he's on to me. Bring up this. Bill sets up elaborate profiles of his so-called followers, making it look like they're actual real.
He faked the whole Madagascar trip, I hear.
Hey,
both of them.
If I've gone through that much work, you should just give it to me.
Well, it doesn't mean it's not fake, but still, that's
If I have created all of Madagascar, a sound set that replicates all of Madagascar, then
here's a great idea. Ohio right now is beautiful. Actually, in the fall, it's the most beautiful. The colors and the trees, and there's only a couple weeks of it, but boy, Ohio becomes beautiful. It's actually lower cost. It's a cost of living here is a pittance. You could get a mansion for what you buy just a 1-bedroom house in California. So there you go.
What? You mean talk about you can have a house for under $1 million?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. A place like this exists?
Yeah. You could have 3 houses for $1 million. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths for $1 million.
You have 2 baths for under $1 million? Oh man, well, bathrooms are extra here.
Yeah, definitely. Jeez. I've got a whole bunch of baths. I won't even tell you how many, and I'm under $1 million, so there you go.
And you get a basement too.
I got a full basement, 18 or almost 2,000 square foot basement. So yeah,
Two Turtle Tom's talking about living.
And there's a bathroom in my basement, and it walks out into the Metro Park. So there you go.
Let's see. Renee says they're about 300 to 400,000. House would be 3 million in LA, and it's 550. Yikes! You people. Yeah. Yeah. Literally, this is. I don't know how people are able to do it. I mean, the answer is they don't. That's
all right, Bill. We're approaching the time where I need to cut things off because I don't know.
Because.
Just because. I don't actually work tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow because I'm going to go get my daughter at Bowling Green, which is only 2 hours away on Friday. But I was planning to go to a conference this weekend, but I decided not. But anyways.
You want to see, I can show you pictures from, let's see pictures from the coffee crawl.
There we go. Look at those smiles. Those are fake if I've ever seen them. Those are caffeine-induced sugar smiles.
Oh, it gets even better. Here I am serving Turkish coffee. You got to serve your friend Turkish coffee. You got to be served.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
Oh, he had a sweatshirt on and he took it off. I'm like, he's got 2 different shirts on. It's the same.
We had a wardrobe change.
Mm-hmm. How do you do this, Bill? How do you put these images on? How does that work?
No, I got another one.
I know, but how are you getting these to come up? I've never been able to do that. I never tried, but.
Oh, you go to present and it says image file.
Oh, yes, that's the same way I do the
Yeah.
the intro
Yes,
music.
and if you scroll down, there's a thing that says photos, and it'll go into your photo album.
Image file. Let's see.
And we want to thank Eliza Ann for actually funding. She contributed to this event. Thank you very much, Eliza Ann. This was sponsored by Eliza Ann.
Sponsored by. See, that's the problem. Eliza Ann is already sponsoring stuff. That's not this. This show doesn't.
She
have
believes.
sponsors.
She believes in what we stand for.
All right.
And how did James like the Turkish coffee? He liked it all. He had a good time with it all. Yes.
Right. Let's see. Let's take this down. All right. All right, guys. We've devolved.
Well, here, everybody, you want to see what infertile eggs look like?
Good Lord.
No, this is educational. So you can see how it's not fully calcified, and you can feel the eggs are either slimy or they're just very chalky. And that's
Bill, I'm going to go with you can never prove the negative unless you've had it go down to nothing.
Okay. I mean, I don't ever
the lack
throw
of
them
existence
away.
is hard to prove.
All I'm letting you know is after years and years of failure, I know what it tastes like. So this is what it looks like.
You're eating those eggs, Bill?
What?
I mean, we've had quail eggs here, but I've never eaten chameleon eggs. They're probably
I'm incubating
those are awful
them.
small to be making helmets. They need 30 of them.
I never give up until they mold. I'm just telling you, these are going to mold. But I'm incubating them until they do. And I'll let you know if I am proven wrong, because I would love to be proven wrong.
Yes. People have stayed on for us to talk about all these topics today, Bill. Proving once again.
Well, it wouldn't be this kind of chaos if you'd select a topic.
Oh, yeah. If I select a topic, you try to get me out. That's all you'd have done is talk like this anyways. Maybe I did select a topic. We just didn't get to it.
You know what? I don't believe that for one bit. You're not.
I'm not going to tell you what the topic is because I'm going to use it again next week.
All right. It's time for you to go take your nap.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. We'll do this again next week. We'll try to be better, but,
Try.
We always try to be better than the last time. And,
I won't be on
better the next time.
next week.
All right. See ya.